And I tell you, it's good to be in Miami because the coronavirus doesn't do well in this warm weather.
How do we not talk about that with you yet?
Well, no, listen. We mentioned it as we were setting things up. We talked about this on our show yesterday. All these viruses. We've been talking about it at Barstool for a decade plus now. From like the swine flu to the bird flu to like all the
Ebola was a big one.
Ebola was a big one. Yeah.
We had Legionnaires and this and that in New York. All of these things are a media frenzy, I think. I think there are. I mean, obviously, some people do, get these diseases. But when the frenzy starts and everyone freaks out, I feel like that's always overblown.
So let's talk about why it's a frenzy first, and then I'll get back to if it's a frenzy. I just spoke to a friend of mine, Ian Lipkin, who's the virus hunter of America. He's the most famous guy. I had the guys from Contagion on. Remember the movie Contagion, Soderbergh's movie? Yeah. So I had them all on the show and their real-life counterparts.
Okay.
And I learned a lot about the real issue here. The fact of the matter is, in our lifetime, there's going to be a pandemic that's going to kill a lot of people.
How many are we talking?
We're talking maybe 20% of the population.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah. What were you saying last night?
It's every 100 years, right? And we're at the 100-year part.
Right.
It's 1720 Black Plague. 1820 was Spanish flu.
Spanish flu was 1920.
Right, 1920, and then
now it's
it was 2020. It's
So
time.
you're looking at
that thing is taking me down.
20%.
No doubt.
So it's a lot of lives. I mean, half of Europe was knocked off by the Black Plague. These illnesses were pretty devastating, and they deeply in our psyche embed the fear of an infection that you can't see or control. And it actually crazily unifies it at the same time because all humans would be prone to it. So when you hear about a virus and you don't know much about it, and it's spreading everywhere, and it's in China, which is far away, and we don't know them, and then there's a little bit of xenophobia about the fact that it's over there, and they can't do it, maybe we can't do it. Then all of a sudden you get fearful, and the media plays to that. Of course, it makes the headlines every day. But I talked to my friend who's there, the virus hunter, and he says he actually is worried about this virus, but not because it's going to kill 20% of humans. He's worried because it's very contagious. There's a case just today in Chicago of a guy who flew here, wasn't sick, contaminated people, got back on the plane, then got sick. So you can contaminate people when you don't feel you're ill, which is a real problem because you can't protect the people around you.
But were you saying the same things about the swine flu and the bird flu?
So
this one's different?
Yeah, those viruses which are deadlier, like SARS it killed 10 to 15% of people who got it. This virus is maybe 2%. But just to put it in context, but this virus tends to infect people before they can know that they're infected, and they're still passing it.
They don't feel sick or anything.
Exactly. So it actually, from that perspective, is a problem. Now, here's the bigger issue. So this virus started because someone had a coronavirus, which could have been a sore throat, with a small mammal in this wet market in China that had been bitten by a bat. Yeah. And bats carry these viruses. So that virus somehow got into the human. It morphed in their throat, maybe, right? So now you got coronavirus, which is common with this crazy virus you've never seen before, and all of a sudden it goes. You have no idea if that's a problem or not. And you're not going to know that until we have a couple months of data.
Until it's late, yeah.
So now we're sort of feeling better about it. I am anyway. I'm talking to a bunch of experts. I don't think we should panic. I'm not that concerned about it. Wash your hands, please. But we'll lose 50,000 people from the influenza virus, 50,000 in America. We're not going to lose 50,000 people to the Chinese coronavirus. So let's focus on what the real issues are, and then let's focus on preventing the big one from hitting us, because we don't have a national protective system. We don't really have a good way of quarantining, identifying, and immediately triaging viruses. And we should be doing that, all of us, the entire planet.
It's funny because I feel like as everything advances and hygiene and it doesn't really matter though, right? I mean, like if a disease comes out and spreads, and it's kind of scary that you can do all that, but it's going to happen.
Well, let's look at this second. So Ian, my friend, the virus hunter, can find the virus, identify it, and immediately know what it is. We already know what this virus is, right? That would take months and months earlier. SARS, we never cured. SARS just went away. It burnt out and went away.
Oh, wow, that's scary.
So, we never really got ahead of that one. This one, we could make a vaccine in 3 months that's widely available in a year, so we'll prevent the entire population from getting afflicted if we wanted to. But we need to have an early detection system, so when patient 0 presented December 1st in Wuhan, China, it doesn't take us 2 months to figure out that there's a potential pandemic virus that could have hit us. It would have already taken us. We wouldn't have known it. So think about this as a shot across the bow. That's why we should pay attention, not because this is the end.
Got it. All right, that's actually interesting. That makes more sense because I'm prone to be like, all right, it's another hysteria. It's all silly. But that makes sense that let's take it seriously now so we don't get it.
Meanwhile, I think people should fly, go to the game on Sunday. Don't change your life. Don't wear masks. It's not a problem for this country right now.
All right. Good to know. So business
Do you
as usual
think
for me.
maybe that China started it because Wuhan's so close to Hong Kong, and they just wanted to go over there?
So I was just in China in November, December. No, they're not the evil empire. I mean, it's amazing. We vilified China.
Theory, though.
Yeah, it's very good conspiracy. But you don't control where this virus goes. No nation is going to hoist it on themselves. Plus, we're talking about a lot of political instability when you have a virus like this, because it highlights the shortcomings of any government.
Right.
And the Chinese, unlike SARS, where we didn't know what the heck was going on, this time they really have been forthcoming. Even the World Health Organization, which in the last 24 hours said this is a global public health emergency, which is a big. They don't do that too often.
Yeah.
Even they said the Chinese are talking. They're
helping
actually
out. Yeah.
they're helping out, and we're trying to. I was over the last 48 hours. I've been trying to get more of those N95 protective masks for them. They don't have any. The world supply is consumed.
Holy
You
shit.
can't find any masks. So
The world just ran out of masks?
yes, there are no masks. You
Can't
try
we
to try to find one.
I feel like that's a challenge. I feel like I could go on Amazon and get a mask right now.
No, not an N95, not an antiviral mask. You can get like a play mask.
Got it.
And
The
pretend,
real deal
and
Holyfield,
pretend
yeah.
you're safe.
By the way, Dr. Oz is out here trying to help people find masks. Like yesterday, Jared's just letting his hot tub overflow. Like, we don't do anything for the real world. He's a good person. We're just a bunch of assholes. That's what I'm learning.